we go. I pushed the recording button. Good morning,
Yeah.
Riley.
Hello, how are you,
I'm
Lori?
awesome on this. Oh, yeah, it's not morning for you. Where are you?
No.
You are.
We're outside of Atlanta,
Ah, yes. And here I am
the
in
famous
foggy
stomping grounds
Illinois.
of the man himself. So,
Yes. Well, that's an interesting.
yeah.
So, Riley, for everybody, we'll do some quick intros. So, my name is Lorri Lown, and I'm one of the cycling coaches at Team Wilpers and also a bike fitter. And Riley is our director of operations. Is that your title these days?
I guess so. Yeah, officially, yes, that is the
Chief
title.
cook and bottle washer. He is the Wizard of Oz of Team Wilpers, keeps everything going behind the scenes, and is a great confidant and a cheerleader. And you need something done, and you ask Riley, and it gets done. And so appreciative of working with him. And I asked Riley to come on today with Father's Day happening to talk about work life balance and how things change in the summer and all of that. So, Riley, tell us your Peloton story.
So I started, first off, thank you for the kind words. Wizard of Oz might be a bit extreme, but I don't dislike the title. That was one of my dad's favorite movies growing up,
Well,
so
there you go.
I like it. I can relate. But my Peloton story, we've had a Peloton here in our house since right after our kids were born. Pre-COVID days, pre-Peloton going crazy days, and have loved it from day one. Um, Funny story, we started training on the Peloton, both doing runs and cycling prior to Matt being at Peloton. We would do training plans on he had an app prior to Peloton where he did audio training plans, and we used that to train.
Oh,
So I've
how
been training
cool.
with Matt, who I met through my wife, for longer than he's been the
Been a
face, I guess.
superstar.
Exactly. So we've loved it from day one since we got it. We started with the bike and then got the Tread Plus, and don't tell anybody, but we still have the original Tread
That's
Plus.
okay.
However many times they've asked us to send it back, we love that thing and we don't want to give it back. So,
You're not
uh,
alone,
yeah. Oh,
but
I'm
there's a
sure
software fix or something now, right?
we could send it back and have them send us a new one or send us the guard. I don't know. We haven't yet, but
Yeah.
shh. But we love it. We love the structure of having it at home.
Mm-hmm.
We have two young kids that um, having a Peloton enables us to stay fit and use the minimum amount of time possible to
Yeah.
achieve whatever goal it is that we're looking to accomplish at
What
that
are
certain
your
point.
goals?
Um,
Playing
honestly,
with
at
your
this point,
kids. I mean, that's a good
yeah,
one.
I mean, the reason I train and the reason I try to stay fit is just that.
Yeah. How old are your
It,
kids?
I have a 6-year-old son and an 8-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And I coach their sports and go to their sports and spend all day outside running around at their stuff. And um, before, I guess, growing up training, I was always doing it for a purpose. I wanted to run
Yeah.
a half marathon. I wanted to run this race, that race, which are great goals, and I accomplished them. But there was always an end, and then I didn't know where to go from there, and it was like
Yeah.
dropping off a cliff, and I would stop training. Now, having a plan to train with the goal of just being healthy enough to keep up, to
Mm-hmm.
not feel exhausted after wrestling with my son or after playing soccer and coaching for 2 hours or even just standing out in the sun
Yeah.
for a day is key. And it's very easy to slip off that and get out of shape, I
Oh,
guess.
yeah.
Um, and that ebb and flow is hard. And the one thing I love about having both the tread and the bike is we can alternate between modalities and use plans that we have that Team Wilpers that we get
Mm-hmm.
from Team Wilpers. Obviously, I work for Team Wilpers. I'm going to use their plan. But having the knowledge that the coaches that we have put these plans together gives me confidence that there's a purpose.
Yeah.
Even if I don't feel like working out 3 days per week will get me where I want to go. I know that someone that knows way more than me put this together and I trust the process. And at the end of the process, where I want to be.
Yeah.
And, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago when I was just training, on my own, trying to figure it out before, getting structured, I always just felt like I had to, pound it out every day. And if I wasn't
Yeah,
exhausted at the end of my workout, then I wasn't accomplishing anything. And that's
right. I had a bike fit client yesterday in the real world, and her goal was in the real world. I know, in my studio, in my outdoor
yeah.
studio,
Oh, I know.
outdoor cyclist, and everything she talked about was just the number of calories she burned. Which I was like, that's not real. Where's the joy? We
Yeah.
have to find some joy for you. Her bike didn't give her joy. So hopefully after we were done, it gave her some joy. But it is hard talking about goals. I am actually taking a step back right now. I had to mentally. And I kind of struggled a little bit with that because I decided I wasn't going to race for a while, that it was
Mhm.
putting me in this stressful mode and I wasn't feeling happy. And I do flounder when I don't have a plan. But then I started, so I downloaded the Peloton app and I decided I was going to try to stretch most nights of the week, do 10, 15 minutes. I've never
Mhm.
done that. And I'm like, wow, that's really good. And then I do this hypnosis type meditation. And then I go to bed. It's like I get ready for bed, I do my stretch, and then I do the hypnosis and I fall asleep before it finishes.
That's awesome.
And then I decided, okay, I don't wire a watch, I don't do anything, but I want to walk every day. I'm not going to set any rules. It's not going to be a 10,000 step day. It's just make time during the day to walk once or twice,
Mhm.
hopefully after a meal. That's a good thing. And I'm back in the gym lifting 3 days a week. And I'm riding my bike when I want to, not because I have to. And I can flounder with that.
Yeah.
But right now it feels really freeing. It feels really good. And I feel healthier than I have in a while. So, yeah. And I have to tell you, with my bike fit clients through Team Wilpers, so many of them say, I ride because I want my kids to have a good role model. I want to play with my kids. I want to be able to keep up with them as they're getting older and fitter. So, but
I
definitely
mean,
a common motivation.
yeah, there's so much to that too. And having your kids see that you prioritize something other than them too is key.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm at home right now, as
Mm-hmm.
it is probably pretty obvious, but my wife is home from work today and with the kids downstairs, and we're dividing and conquering, and they see that there's other priorities other than just them
Yeah.
in our lives. And my wife worked out earlier this morning while I, made our dinner and made our lunch for tonight. Like it's
Yeah.
all a daily different puzzle of how to get things done.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Um, that's good. My cat does not make me dinner. I wish he did. Sometimes I get back so late and I'm like, okay, but make good choices, make good choices. Um, so I was talking to our team leads. So with Team Wilpers, we have 5 team leads right now helping manage our challenges. And they were asking me, they were like, what are some good topics that we can talk about with our groups? And the one that first came to mind was summer is approaching.
Mhm.
And for parents, like stay at home parents, right?
Yep.
Or in your case, a work from home parent, um, how does summer change your schedule? How does summer change your priorities? To me, it seems very chaotic. It's like, oh my God, kids. And some kids go to camp and that's parents can just do their thing, but not everybody does that.
Mhm.
How does summer change your life? How do you create?
Um, some days your chaotic word is right.
Yeah.
Um, it is, I would say the key is planning out your days. Because for me personally, I'm a stay-at-home dad, work from home dad. That definition switches and changes every single day. It feels like every hour it's different. Sometimes I'm a work from home dad, and other days I'm just here to
Stay at
stay home and prioritize the kids and time with them. And it all depends on their schedules. Like this past week, both of the kids were at a camp for 3 hours, which
Yeah.
for all the other stay-at-home parents out there feels like almost nothing. It feels like you pick them,
Yeah.
you come back, you do a couple things, you look at the clock. It's like that was the fastest 2.5 hours in the history of 2.5 hours. And then you go back and get the kids. Other times, the first week of summer for us, our summer started, I don't know, 2.5 weeks ago now. So we're in the thick of it already. But my son was home with me, and my daughter was at a camp in the morning, and then they were both home. So I had almost no time to do anything other than spend time with them. And I would say the key change is when they're at school, it's 7 o'clock to 2:45 every single day. I am a work from home person, not even a parent
Mhm.
at that point, really. And I have plenty of time to, at 7:30, I'm going to work out, and I have an hour to work out and get everything done that I want to on my workout. And then I have another full 5, 6 hours, whatever it is. And depending
Hmm.
on where they go after school, maybe even more. So the school year is significantly easier to plan as we
Except
get
when they call from the principal's office to tell you that
well,
you
yeah,
have a
yeah,
sick kid.
yeah. Those random grenades that get thrown into your day, which at the end of the day, it's incredibly fortunate that I'm here and doing this and have the flexibility to be home.
Right.
Because prior to my Team Wilpers days, which I started 6 years ago now or so, right at the beginning before COVID hit, I worked in finance and I was out of the house 9 to 5, and
Hmm.
I didn't get to spend any time with
So
my
did you
kids.
wear a suit and a
I
tie?
had a shirt and tie,
Ah,
gelled hair, fancy shoes, all the things, the nine. And now you only ever see,
I
this
know.
body or whatever. But I get to wear workout clothes all the time, which is great.
Yeah.
Um, but I wasn't getting to spend any time other than what I defined as work time with my kids, work to get them to school, work to get them to bed. That was it.
Hmm.
So we made the decision, and we were fortunate enough to be able to do it while changing our lifestyle to have me originally be just a stay-at-home dad. And then I connected with Matt on working at Team Wilpers in a very small role initially. And then COVID hit.
And
Lorri,
everything blew up.
everything went bananas. We went
Yeah.
from Bike Fit, which Lorri, that's how you joined originally, and now you're the title of your role could, goes
Chief
across
cook
the
and bottle
spectrum.
washer.
Exactly. But we went from, 4 bike fits to 600 bike fits in a month in 2 months.
Yeah.
So the level of work um, rose exponentially, but being home and being flexible and working with Matt, and knowing that we could get the work done at any point in time,
Hmm.
possible. And fast
And I
forward.
want to pause there for a minute because for
Yep.
those of you who don't know, when we started the Bike Fit program, I wasn't on board. But it had started in April of 2020, and there was one guy, and I think he did 4 or 5 fits. And then four more people came on board. And then in August, September, October, we got up to 28 fitters. That's when I came on board.
Yep.
28 fitters fitting mostly what I would consider full time ish, and huge. And
Yeah.
originally, Matt was doing all the scheduling and the credit card charges and all that himself,
It
right? Via email or.
it started very small. We very quickly had to get away from that. But yeah, it
Yeah.
started in a notebook. It started scheduling on a notebook. And then we had to, I don't know, we built the system around a mass of people,
Yeah.
which we got it done quickly. It was kind of trial by fire at that stage. But we had athletes waiting 9 months or
Yeah.
on the calendar 9 months in advance, waiting for their fit and waiting because they saw how valuable
Yeah.
and heard from their friends and other people online how valuable the fit was. And thankfully, no one ever had to wait that long. As you
Right.
said, we went from one fitter to 28 in a couple of months. We
Yeah.
went 4 fits to, 500, 600 fits a month in that same
Hmm.
time. So it was very much needed.
There were
Uh,
months I did 100 fits.
oh,
And I know there were other fitters doing
yeah,
the
there,
same
were- there were
thing.
months that everybody did 100 fits.
Yeah. It was
And
crazy.
yeah, everything went from manual to automated, went from people not having any clue how to set up for their fit to now everybody knows exactly what to expect.
Yeah.
The fitters also know exactly where an athlete is prior to getting on the bike. Just make
That's
sure.
huge.
Yeah,
That really
whole process is amazing.
systemizing everything or systematizing, whatever that term
Yeah,
is, made a huge difference. And that was, I will say, greatly due to your expertise in jumping in or learning how to put these systems together, but also the fact that you took our feedback. What were the things we needed? Hey, we're wasting time because people haven't set up their camera or they don't have their tools handy, or, oh, I needed my shoes, or, all those things. And so the fits became more efficient,
yeah,
which gave us a better product. So
for sure.
systems definitely improve products, which was great.
Yeah.
It's kind of a funny. How many fits have you had? Riley just told me how many fits he had. I was like, wow,
I've
you're a
had
record.
5 or 6 fits,
Yeah.
and given I've been here since the beginning,
Yeah.
so I've had enough time to do it. But I mean, each one was unique. And I mean, I got my first fit before we had 2 kids. Now I have a 6-year-old. and my fitness has changed, and each time the fit changed. And like what I tell everybody whenever I talk to anybody about a fit is it's not cookie cutter. Just because the
Right.
bike move in or the bike can move in three different spots and your shoes can move doesn't mean that just because I'm 6'1" and a 37-year-old male that the other 6'1", 37-year-old male that is either fitter or not as fit as me is going to be the same.
Yeah.
And seeing that I would say one of the most interesting times was I had two fits done in the same day by different um, just as a test, just to see.
Yeah.
And both fits were different, but both fits accomplished the goal of making sure that I felt comfortable,
Hmm.
safe, and eventually more powerful on the bike for
Yeah.
where I was at that current point.
Yeah.
And it's been great to be able to see how that process is actually true, that it
Hmm.
actually is something that I relate to an
Yeah.
annual checkup. Because just like I get healthy and less healthy, and one year is better than the next year, the same thing happens in my fitness. And I need to make sure that I'm as safe
Hmm.
as possible so that I don't hurt myself, because then I
Yeah.
can't do anything.
I had a
Yeah.
client the other day, I guess it was last week, who I'd fit him previously, and he had been fit once previously by someone else too. And he had some health issues and then just went through a significant planned weight loss. And it completely changed his fit. And yeah, it's absolutely. So whether you're getting refit because you're Riley and you're trying to test things out, or just improve what you're doing, it's super important. We
Yeah.
do see a lot of folks who, so we schedule these half-hour refit evaluations now, which is great because we can just fine tune everything and polish everything,
Exactly.
give you a lot
Yeah.
of technique. So,
Yeah. You don't always
um,
need the full time.
what?
You don't always need the full time to
Correct.
accomplish that.
Correct. Tell me, so summer, chaotic. What are the biggest distractions you have? What keeps you from doing your thing? Is there anything?
Um, oh yeah. I mean, every day is different. I would say prioritizing. So the two things that I try to do every day, and most certainly don't accomplish every single day, are prioritizing what I need to get done,
Mhm.
making sure that working out is on that list, or if it's not, there's a good reason for it, and then planning out how my day is going to look.
Yeah.
Because if I don't have a plan for how it's going to look, the six things that I need to get done in the 3 hours that I'm alone, where it's easier to get things done without kids, being in the house, um, I'll just jump from task to task and not focus on anything.
What tool do you use to plan? Do you
Um,
calendar things, or you have a notebook, or you?
I use the to-do list notifications on my phone.
I was thinking
I
the
have
alphabet letters that go on the refrigerator.
I have I don't it's set up to where I can use my voice to add things to the list so that at any point um so we have Alexa in our house, which she
Hmm.
just turned on. So hopefully she doesn't start talking in the background. And it's tied into my phone, so it just pops up and then I have it as a full page widget or whatever.
Yeah,
So I can see what I need to get done on any given day. And in particular the things that are different from every
the
other day.
norm.
The
Yeah.
norm. Yeah.
That's what
Um,
I do as well. Is I go through at the beginning of the week and I'm like, okay, I need to do this workout and this workout and this workout. And the work also goes, the tasks go in actual
yeah.
calendaring. And I think part of that too is because I see clients by appointment
Mhm.
at specific times. So then I have to figure out the rest of the schedule. It's not like I can just do tasks that aren't time dependent. And if I don't put those things in the calendar, it doesn't work. It doesn't happen because I'm an idiot or
Yeah.
I'm lazy or
Yeah,
I'm
but if you don't
whatever.
write it down,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I keep a good old fashioned notebook. I have like my list
Oh,
of things that I don't want to forget because at my age, my brain forgets things. And then I can put them away and I look at that once a day just to make sure I
mhm.
haven't missed anything or I've got things on track for the day.
Yep.
And that's been a good system as well. So, yeah. Um, Distractions. We were talking about that. What
But
else?
yeah, every day is different, for sure. And I would say the biggest thing at the end of the day, if like you said, a kid gets called home from school, or one of the kids is home and I don't have the time to set aside for myself for the workout. Is there's a couple things that, you know, fall above it on the priority list for the day. Having
Hmm.
grace for myself and not
Hmm.
beating myself up if I don't get the workout in any given day is important, because
Right,
if you start beating yourself up, or when I start beating myself up about it, then I'm like, oh, then I fell behind. It's not even worth sticking with it. I'm not going to be able to
right.
do it. But if
Yeah.
you get to the end of the day, you're like, you know what, I'll knock it out first thing in the morning. I'll restructure my day. I'll wake up earlier.
Hmm.
I'll try to knock it out first thing, or find a window to make sure to do it the next day.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, not beating myself up about it when I miss it,
Right.
particularly during the summer, because every day is so different
Right.
and there's going to be variability with it. I
And
don't
I
have,
think the other thing that happens during the summer is there are lots of fitness opportunities we have that don't yield a blue dot, right?
yeah, exactly.
So you're out running around with the kids, or you go for a walk to go get, a treat, an ice cream or something,
Yeah,
or whatever. And it's like, okay, fitness can come in little snacks too. It doesn't just have to be a big meal. I like that analogy, right? So I can take 10 minutes of lunch and go for a walk,
yeah,
which is great after lunch, and to get your head ready for the afternoon is probably better than a shot of espresso, I think. Or I can take my after dinner walk, or I can go to my stairs and do a set of step ups or
yeah,
whatever. And we don't think that way. We don't think that way very often. We look at this schedule, and if it's not a class, it doesn't count, or if I didn't start my watch, it doesn't count. And it's like, no, I can have a fit lifestyle and an active lifestyle, because that's a key. And then I'm
yeah,
going to do more structured stuff too. But yeah, but if I miss something, there's other things I've done. And then it can become a slippery slope. Like you said, if I miss one and I beat myself up, and I'm like me, a little OCD, and I'm like, I have to go back and get that. No, you don't.
yeah. It's
It's
fine.
okay to
Okay. Yeah,
miss. So that's all right.
yeah.
Yeah. What would you change about how you structure your life, or anything you could improve?
Um, I don't know. I've always wanted to be like you, I guess, and adopt calendaring in more of a structured,
Mm,
intentional way. And I don't know if it's how I'm wired. I don't prioritize it, but I've never been great at combining all areas of my life.
mhm.
Like I have a shared calendar with my wife, and that allows us to, add events for the family, but then my work calendar is separate,
Yeah.
and anything that comes up task-wise, um, I don't set, I don't, it'll be on my to-do list and it'll be prioritized, but it's when I set aside specific time to do stuff, it makes all the difference
Hmm.
in the world. It's just a
I
matter of
agree.
prioritizing the time it takes, and maybe that's it in my mind. Like, well, I have it on the list. I know I need to do it. I'll just go do it. I don't want to take the time that I convince myself that it'll take to
Yeah.
get it structured in a calendar, and I don't thus recognize that that actually makes my day more efficient and saves the
Hmm.
time that I use the calendar.
Yeah. I find, well, and I also find modern technology can be great. It can be really challenging. I have so many different calendars, and getting them to sync is really hard.
Yeah,
I have people booking through Team Wilpers and through my own business, and I have another company that I work for. I have my personal calendar, and it's not always the same everywhere.
yeah,
And it does take me time to go through on these calendars and put in, but I definitely, my big blocks of time, my appointments, those go in. And then I have blocks of what I call flexible time. And
mhm,
that's where I do the to-do list. And that's where I may go through in the morning and look at my to-do list and say, okay, this has got to go into this block of time. It's not something that I can do fast. And then I have
yeah,
other things that maybe are like really fast. So I can do them whenever. And yeah, it's hard. Um, I miss the days of paper planners. I had a Franklin planner, and it was a great system. And I know I love, their calendars, online calendars are so time saving and efficient, because it keeps you from having that back and forth of, oh, are you available at this time, are you available? And
mhm,
but it definitely, there's the downside, the evil
yeah.
side.
There's so
Anyways,
many different options out there to make your life more efficient.
Yeah.
How do you pick,
Yeah.
you know?
It's, you're young. You'll perfect it at some point.
Yeah.
It's taken me forever.
Once the kids are out of the house, we'll be great. It'll be
I know.
fun. Yeah.
Well, they're at an age too where, I mean, they're more independent in some ways, although they're also probably more active. And so there's more drive them here, drive them there. And that's the time consuming part, I think. With my stepdaughters, I found, and they didn't realize that every time you drive them somewhere, it's not only the 15 or 20 minutes you're in the car with them, it's the 15 or 20 minutes you have to go home again.
Yep.
And then you have to go back and pick them up again.
Yeah.
And then
Or it's the hour and a half that you're sitting at wherever you've taken them.
Right.
Because you can't drop them off.
Right.
And I mean, these days, at least you can get on the internet and do stuff on your laptop anywhere,
right.
But it's just,
yeah.
It
was always, it's always a challenge. It's like, oh, I forgot this at my mom's house. And I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Remember your shit. No, sorry. Sorry, Matt. I said,
that's okay. I've heard the words before. You're not going to.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to make a Facebook post on this topic because I think our members will have some good ideas too. Yeah. If you were to give us a handful of Riley's top tips for life balance, what would they be? What's your best advice?
I would say, I guess what we've talked about already, prioritizing everything that you have to do, planning out your day, particularly during the summer, to make sure that you have the time and bandwidth to do as many of the things as possible so that they don't bleed into, the time with kids, the time with your spouse, whatever it may be. And then at the end of the day, checking back to see what you still have to do and having grace when you see that you didn't get to something. Because there's plenty of times, whether it's a workout or whether it's, I said I would play that game with my son and I didn't, or Lorri sent me that email and I haven't answered her yet, or whatever it may be. Like at the end of the day, especially when your day is different and every day is structured differently, something's going to still be there. At the end, something came up, something you missed, whatever it is. And having that grace with yourself to know that you'll get it done. It's there, it's not forgotten, but being able to let it go and not let it ruin the moment that you're in doing whatever it is that you're doing.
Absolutely agree. I would say, and it's interesting, there are a few analogies, like put your oxygen mask on before you help others, right? I use that often because you can't if you're not healthy and happy. And my ex used to tell me, you need to make yourself as much of a priority as the people you work for.
Yeah.
The people you work with. You don't make yourself a priority. And I also probably didn't make him a priority, which is why he's my ex. But it's true. We need to make ourselves a priority so we can be our best selves for everybody else in our life, whether that is our clients or our spouse or our children or whatever. So, yeah.
One thing I heard recently was people in every area of your life ask you to do things. Yeah. One thing that I'm terrible at is using the word no. And a great way that somebody puts saying yes is every time you say yes to somebody, you're going in debt to that person.
Yeah.
That whatever it is, your boss, your friend, your wife, whatever it is, if you say yes to something, you're going in debt to that person. Are you okay with that? Because you'll either owe them or you'll let them down. And like you said, prioritizing yourself a lot of times means saying no to something that in that moment sounds fun because all you're looking at is that one thing. It's like, well, that would be awesome. I would love to, go to the Braves game or whatever it is.
Right.
But by saying yes, I'm sacrificing, giving up my 6 hours or whatever it is.
Right.
So having
that's hard
with the word
because
no.
Many of us are people pleasers and we think, but I think the important point of what you just said is we either do it or we fail to do it. And then we end up letting people down. So being realistic in choosing what we can do and not do and not being afraid. I think people respect you when you say no.
Yeah.
They may not ask you many things in the future if you keep saying no, but it depends on the situation. But you have to protect your time. So I think that's really important advice. Lots of good nuggets here.
Yeah.
Our Father's Day gift to everybody in Team Wilpers.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, we have a Father's Day promotion going on. What's going on? And I love, did you create that ad?
Actually, that ad was my idea. Yes.
Yeah.
I did not build it. Someone else did. But
It's
yeah,
awesome.
protect the family jewels, get your father. Yeah, that
Yeah,
whole
that was
concept.
fabulous.
Yeah.
So we have a promotion going on in Bike Fit through Father's Day.
Yep.
Next week is Father's Day.
Yep, 10 days-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get off your Pelotons, people, and book a Bike Fit, because the day after Father's Day, someone's going to say, "Oh, but there was a discount," and I was like, "Just do
Exactly.
it."
I guarantee that email is coming, which is fine.
Yeah,
But
I know it happened with. We did a Mother's Day promotion too because we love our parents.
yeah.
So, anyways, yes, Bike Fit promotion going on right now through Father's Day, and let's see what else we have. A couple more things. I want to give a couple shout outs. This was exciting. We had a good week. We had a lot of outdoor riding and things going on. Hunter Gates, congratulations. You did your century ride. That's a big deal. Yeah, you can now buy your t-shirt. You have to buy them now, Riley. They
Yeah, we
don't,
also found out that if you share your subscription,
only one
the
person
first
gets.
person that gets to it gets it, and the second person, me, doesn't.
Oh,
Um, but this was a long time ago.
I never got one, and it was before they got rid of the t-shirts. I don't know why, but I did not get a Century Red t-shirt. Arlene Marshall Hawkinsmith, that's a big name. She was a Peloton rider, and she did her first outdoor ride this past weekend. It was called Tour de Belt, and she did 20 miles
Wow.
on a hybrid bike, which is not easy. A hybrid is not quite as efficient as a road bike. So that's a big deal. And she's hooked. She's like, I need to do more of these, and I want to encourage more people to get off their Peloton. So thank you for encouraging more people to get off their Peloton. That was great. Congratulations. And I can't wait to hear about your next event. We had a bunch of folks who rode in the Hincapie Lehigh Valley Grand Fondo this past weekend. Special thanks to Bob Cuccaro, who organized a shakeout ride on Friday and posted up some photos. Sounds like you guys had good weather after all. Last week we did a section on how to prepare for wet weather. We did it specifically for Hincapie because we thought they were going to get rained on, but I think they didn't get rained on, which is a good thing. Yeah. So week 4 is coming up. What are we going to do? We're going to cut back. So it's a little different rhythm this time. We have 3 weeks on, a week off, and then we have 2 really strong, intense weeks. So what does this mean for a cutback? This is where you get faster and stronger, and don't blow it. Let me just tell you. Resist the urge to do more. Try to stick to your program. Take your recovery, take your rest. All the rides except one are Power Zone Endurance. Keep them easy. Don't ride at the top of Zone 3. It's okay to ride Zone 2. Let your body absorb all the fitness you've just been building. You've got 1 climb ride, but we're reducing the intensity, reducing the duration, and then you got 2 really awesome weeks. That's about it. So just the basics. Everything's on the platform. Got your PDFs, clickable links, free 3-ride challenge. If you want more, $9 a month, $9.95 a month. Yeah. And then you get 5 rides and the strength. So, and you can access the running and the strength and all the other content on there. So, what else is going on? Join your Facebook groups and your chats and ride together. Your group leaders are organizing rides. So use the hashtag Team Wilpers Cycling so you can find each other. Yeah, all the good stuff. So enjoy the rest of week 3. Take it easy in week 4. Riley, any parting words? Words of wisdom. I know you just gave me a list of words of wisdom.
No, I would just say keep up the good work, and yeah, take the advice. It's okay to go easy.
It is.
And from experience, don't go harder than you need to. It's
Yeah.
not.
Be efficient. So anyways, Riley, thank you for joining me. This was awesome. It's a little daunting for those of you who've never done something like this to be a behind the scenes person and all of a sudden be on camera. So Riley, you were fabulous. You did a great job.
Thank you so much. It was my
Yeah.
pleasure, and finally got to experience what you get to experience every day with all your fit clients. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. Have a good day, everybody.
all right.